Hey guys, it's mcfixit here. We're going to be working on this Bryant Furnace. It is a 60,000 BTUs and going to be replacing one of the burners that has gone bad on this far side. I'll have a quick little video to show you kind of what it looks like and how I determined it was bad. And you'll see that right now. And you can see that that burner to the right is actually not burning correctly. So here's it going through the initial cycle of starting the flame on the igniter, and then eventually you'll see the gas go ahead and kick on right there. And that far corner is where we have the issue, and it may not be as visible if I would have let it run a little bit longer, but the left one, the center one, and then the right one is the one that has the issue. You can kind of see some stuff in that back corner, and that's where the issue is. It's kind of burning off to that right side, and so that's where that burner has gone bad. And so we're just going to replace it. It's a pretty easy process, just takes a few tools. Here are the tools and the supplies that I used for this video. The main important tool is a 1/4 inch, especially if one has an extension built into it. If not, you're going to need some kind of an extension for that. Needle nose pliers are really helpful. Flathead. I didn't have a metallic tip on the end of it. You can see it right there at the beginning of this video, so I did have to go ahead and use a magnet. You're going to need the burner for whatever size yours is, and I do clean out the burners, the other three, so I used a brush that is brass and used some air dust remover, which works pretty well. I didn't want to bring my compressor down here and have it running throughout the whole house, but I hope this is helpful. Please let me know if you do have any other tools that you choose to use, but this is what helped me get this project done. You just go ahead and lift this straight up and take this off. Right inside of here is the burner. Go ahead and turn off your breaker. And also this one does have a light switch up here that powers it and turns it on and off. I turned off. So go ahead and get to your box and look to see which one says the furnace on it. And right here is the furnace for mine. I'm also, even though I'm not even touching the AC, I'm gonna go ahead and flip the AC one off just to make sure I'm extra safe on this. You will wanna come back out and turn those back on, but double check to make sure you have the correct ones. And we'll go ahead and go back down into the lower level of the house. You're also gonna go ahead and turn off your gas line, and just like that, means it is turned off. The breaker already, and that switch is off, so we can go ahead and start working. You're going to use that nut driver. And if this has recently been on, go ahead and make sure you turn it off and let it sit for a while. There are 5 1/4 inch nuts on this cover. You want to make sure you take all of those off. And then you'll just kind of work this off just like that. And so you can tell this is a 3 burner. This is the burner we're going to be replacing, that far side one. But I am going to clean the other burners while I'm in there. So go ahead and take this nut off. Same thing with this one. And this is one of the things I love about this one. It extends out. So you can go ahead and get this one off. I'm gonna loosen it up just a little bit so I can not hit the camera. And that's supposed to have a magnetic tip on it, but that did not properly work. So I'll have to get that one in 1 second. Probably have to get it after I pull out the burner. Same thing with that one. I'm not sure if you're able to see that, but because I put that little magnet onto the needle nose, I was able to go ahead and pull that one out. Pull it out because this does have a magnetic tip on it.
And there's the second one.
So once you have those screws off, you're just going to kind of finagle this a little bit and get it to move out. So you should be able to get enough space to go ahead and kind of wiggle this thing out of there. Do be careful. And just like that, it's wiggled out. And you're going to be careful and put this back down into place. You can go ahead and check your burners, and you can see this one, it's not really the best. And that's the one we're going to replace. And so I do have a trash can down below me. And you'll work on getting this one off first. And you'll see they're pretty much identical, which is what we want. So once you've gone ahead and pulled that out, you're going to want to get a little flathead and bend this and pry it so we can get off that burner. That's why some of them don't have these little pry pieces and some of them do. And you'll notice this one is actually pried through both of these, which is kind of a smart little design they did. Just helps hold all of it together between the three burners. And so that right there is the burner that was bad. So I'm just gonna throw that away. We'll go ahead and get the good new burner and begin to put it back down and through. And so I'm gonna use the needle nose on this because it'll just help me get a little bit better seal on that. And this did get bent just a bit, so I'm going to bend that back into place. Then we'll go to get this one, put back into place, and then bend it down and over it. Actually, hold on, I forgot this one was down below this one. And then this one was on top. So I'll work on bending that back just a smidgen more, to where we can get this one locked back in place good. Just like so. The next thing you're going to do is I'm actually going to clean these other burners because it's important that these can go between. This little split here allows the gas to travel between. It gets lit on this side and then your flame sensor is over here to make sure each of them are lit properly. So go ahead, trash can's right below me. Go ahead and begin to clean all this off. And really going between them is really important. Now this is like a 17-year-old furnace. I believe this is the first time any of these have ever been changed. I could have gone ahead and done all three, which is probably what I should have done. This is my home unit, so I make that call. This is a pretty easy fix if I need to buy more.
Go ahead and grab some compressed air
and just blow those out. And you can also blow them out this way as well, just to make sure all that looks good. And then the other thing you can do is go ahead and look up in here, making sure everything looks how it is supposed to. And eventually I'm probably going to need to replace the igniter. It's going to be really hard to see, but it's back in there. It's pretty corroded and old. But we'll see. We're just trying to get at least another couple of months out of this furnace, maybe this year, and then I'll replace the whole thing. So we'll go ahead and put this back in. So same concept, we're gonna have to kind of finagle and bend this properly to get this back in here. And sometimes I think it goes in easier than it comes out. Because what I thought that this was magnetic, it's not really until you're all the way down in it. So I went out and just got a 1/4 inch with a magnet built into it so I can properly put this on. You may need something to kind of lift it up and to be able to get it started. Now then once it gets started, you can screw it all the rest of the way in. This will help make sure these are nice and level for when you do start. These things are easy to drop all over the floor, so make sure you got a nice clean area so they're easy to find when you do end up dropping some of these little 1/4 inch screws. So now that just made that a lot easier to go ahead and to get this into place. Now the trick of this is we've got to get this top piece in first. Just like that. You do want to double check to make sure all of your burners are perfectly lined up just like that. And so when it's in there, you should be able to see the burner. The burner should go right inside that hole. This is that old one. Then we'll go ahead and put these screws back in. Do be careful not to over torque these. These things are just going into sheet metal and they can rip pretty easily. So that's nice and secure. Again, we do need to get this piece back up and on. And this is normally easiest to just kind of pull this towards you as you're beginning to put it on. This little rubber gasket. Might be even easier with this pair of pliers, needle nose. Getting that gasket to live exactly where it's supposed to. You can kind of see the split in the middle right here. That's right where it's supposed to be. I probably could have put this on before putting these on. Might have been a little bit easier, but it'll still go on with this. And there it begins to go. Go ahead and pull this top part towards us a little bit. And you can see the metal here and the metal here. That's exactly what you want. You can go ahead and grab that cover back. There it goes. And you'll just start putting the screws in. And there's 5 of them here. One key thing is make sure you have all of the screws out of there. This was the bit that was in on the top of this originally. So all the screws have been put back. That's why I like using a metal tray partly. We're not gonna put the cover on yet, but we are gonna go ahead and turn the gas back on. We'll go ahead and flip the breaker back on, and then I do have that light switch as well, and then we'll test this.
Don't forget to go ahead and turn your gas back on too.
So inside my nest, it is off right now. I'm gonna go ahead and bump it up a couple of degrees, put heat on, and you'll hear inducer motor. And we should see it light soon. I'm gonna record a video of the inside. And you can can see it's starting to glow, which is exactly what you want. And it lit. All 3 of them are lit and burning exactly how we want them to. And you'll notice that last one is burning straight now instead of against the wall for some reason. And so that fixed it. I hope this was helpful, guys. If you do have any questions, go ahead and make sure you leave them in the comment section below. I'm not an HVAC specialist, but I do know how to repair a lot of different things. And we're back up and running with all burners working properly. And appreciate you guys. Can't do this without you guys liking and subscribing. So if you haven't done so, make sure you do so. Thank you guys so much.